Great. So, welcome in. Right now, we're going to be discussing and talking about how to discover your marketplace on Paxful. So, you already understand the potential with trading. And so now we have to figure out for you what is your payment method. So, what methods, what marketplaces are you going to be using in order to trade in? So, a few things to mention, a few disclaimers. Again, this is not financial advice, and you should use this only as entertainment. So, what you can do also with these trading methods is you have to be aware that they can. You should not use any trading methods. This is also a disclaimer. You should not use any trading methods that are important to your daily life. So, for example, if you use PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or any particular app all the time and it's very important to your daily life, I would not recommend using that as a payment method. What you want is you want to find payment methods that you can easily register, that you might have access to, that you can sign up with, things that you don't care whether or not they could get banned from the company by which you're doing the trading. Most of these financial institutions will have some clause in their terms of service which does not allow you to use their platform in order to uh, do trading. Now, you don't really need to stress about that due to our really powerful KYC method. So you're really able to trade greatly without issue for a long time, especially if it's within a payment method that you don't normally use. So keep that in mind as you're looking through, as I'm showing you these payment methods. You want to look for one and utilize one which you is not critical to your daily life. It's very important that you follow that process. With that being said, let's look at some of the payment methods which are available. So we'll see on Paxful, we have Bitcoin, Tether, or USD Coin. These are different currencies which we're able to buy and sell. You can see that there is quite a lot of different payment methods. You'll see that there's many options for different payment methods which you're able to sign up with, which you can use for buying and trading. Even gift cards they allow on Paxful. I don't personally do that, but there's a huge community of gift card traders. Additional digital currencies, you could even trade in other currencies. I'm just showing a few of them. Even cash payments such as Western Union or deposits to a bank or MoneyGram or Bitcoin. There's lots of options, all the way down to gold cars and game items. That must be a newer one. So over 470 different payment methods which you could use, which will allow you to to trade with. So we can even dial it down a little bit deeper. So, for example, let's go into the euro. Let's not do euro. Let's do the U.S. dollar is always a good one, and let's do the United States and Bitcoin. So let's say, for example, I wanted to buy Bitcoin in the United States with US dollar. Here are some different payment methods, which would, and these are also different sellers, which are selling and offering. So, just dissecting this information that we see here, these are all different vendors. For example, if we click on this vendor, we can see this is his profile. Last seen, how many positive, how many negative feedback. We can see what are his or her ads, where they're from. We can see their different trading volume, crypto, when they bought, when they sold, crypto, if they're verified on the platform. So these are things that we can do as far as due diligence to see, are these credible people that we're working with? Just one of the methods is reviewing their profile. Additionally, when we're discovering our marketplace and looking for payment methods which might be work for us, we can also look and see what the rate is. So in this case, this means that this individual is doing a trade via Visa or debit or credit card. They have 201 previous trades. In this case, we are paying $1 for every $1 of Bitcoin we get. We're paying 1.11, meaning that we're getting just shy of an 11, or we're going to get 10% below the price. Um, I believe is what this is saying. Let me take a look. Let's look at a more reasonable payment method. Let's just do like a normal bank transfer. That's probably going to be the most reliable one to go with. We'll do bank transfer, and then we'll do search. Again, we can put all these different options here. So here we go. So we have interesting. Okay, so we have bank transfer, and so this offer is 10% below Bitcoin's current rate. So this actually means that if we were to buy Bitcoin here, we would get it at 10% below the market rate. Now, I would not trade with this trader as they're selling it at a discount, which means they're probably not reliable. Like 7 trades, 0 trades, 0 trades, 38 trades, 34. So we can see the first person that actually has a substantial amount of trades is a premium, meaning that you got to pay some 95 cents for every dollar in USD you get, USD equivalent of Bitcoin. Also, this is the minimum purchase and the maximum purchase. So we can see these are some of the different offers which are available. This individual, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. You can see all Chime Bank, all these different. This person is charging 30%. So you can see Chime here 30% with 500. So you can see the opportunity here with different payment methods and the sort of premiums which are possible on the platform when you're selling. So what we want to do is we want to look through this, and we want to look through Bitcoin specifically. Also, Tether and USD Coin are great options, and we want to find payment methods which we think you might have access to. ADV Cash is an online payment platform that might be useful. AirTM is one that could be useful. There's a lot of different. Cash App is well known. Chime, Chase Quick Pay. I'm going to just go through a few of these. EcoCash is, I think, mostly African. You have a Facebook Messenger payment even. So you have all these different payment methods. Hilton Honor Points. You have all these different payment method and Kakao Pay, that's Korean. Different transfer methods in which you can set up ads. So let's just look at NetTeller. This is a very popular one here. So let's see what's available for NetTeller. And then we'll see this is probably this is much more of a reliable type of marketplace, NetTeller. We'll see that these premiums are being sold at 6%. Now this rate, and this person has a very low minimum maximum purchase amount. We'll see a few $100s here, almost over $1,000 here. These people have some substantial trades. So this is if you wanted to buy. So this is the, if I wanted to purchase NetTeller. So this would be one side of the market, or the order book. If you're familiar with trading already, kind of they have an order in, meet the top of the list, because these are organized. Paxful has a little bit of an algorithm how they determine, but generally the cheapest rate and then the highest verified account is going to be at the top of the list, the cheapest rate. So you'll see kind of as you go down, then the rate will generally get a little bit higher, and maybe perhaps you need some more limits. So there's different opportunities within the market if maybe you wanted to sell a higher limit or lower limit with a higher premium or lower premium. But you could kind of assume that even if you sold at 5% here, it's still quite good for really minimal work. Now this is one side of the equation, but also we want to look at the sell side. So if we're going to take the same information, Bitcoin and NetTeller, and we're going to go, okay, so let's do NetTeller again. And I'll explain what sell side means in a moment. Let's do United States. Maybe we could just do worldwide. I think that's what we had before. And then we can look here. So this same individual, so this person trades a lot with NetTeller. So we can see in this case, he's so buy is if I'm a user and I came. Let's take one step back. Buy is if I came here and I wanted to purchase crypto. So I would use buy. So I would want to buy something, and I would want to buy crypto with my payment method. Sell is if I want to sell crypto and receive some money back. So in this case, this person would be paying you 97% of your Bitcoin value with net teller. So he'd be sending you money in order to. So these are both sides of the equation: the buy side and the sell side. So when we're talking about earning compound interest in the last video, then you're going to notice that you're able to utilize both the buy side and the sell side in order to have the spread is going to be your total profit on every trade that you complete. That's going to allow you to earn compound interest and to, especially if you reinvest the profits that you earn and the spread that you earn back into the trade and back into your balance with crypto. So this is generally speaking how you're going to discover your marketplace. So you want to figure out, what payment method is one, like NetTeller, for example, or what payment method is going to be one that you have access to. And then you also want to consider, what are the fees involved with these payment methods? So, for example, to send a Western Union transfer, there's going to be fees at Western Union. So you have to make sure that you have that profit margin built in. Also, Paxful is generally going to take some sort of percentage, and we'll go over that in the next video. What that is. Actually, that'll be probably more on the last video as far as what you need to do in order to maximize that spread and then account for the fees inside. We're looking for a 10% spread on our profit. So the focus of this first part is strictly for you to understand how to do market research and discover which payment methods you think that you would be able to work with. So, for example, we'll look again at Western Union, Worldwide, and Bitcoin. In this case, this person is doing 0%, 0%, 2%, a slight, So we'll see a lot of different options here for Western Union, and you guys can look at these opportunities and use them as you see fit. I've never even seen cars before. Let's look at that. Someone's offering a Ford Flex. I don't know how reliable that is, but very interesting. So what we can do is and even gift cards are available. So we can look at all the different options here on the buy side and the sell side, and then see which are available. Let's take a more common market like PayPal, just to give you some, but this is, one of the parts of running this business is being able to identify scammers and such. So for example, some of these things can lead to an issue if you're not aware of the risk involved. So, for example, if you do, I'm going to use the United States, or I think most Asian countries are similar as well. If you do a bank transfer, meaning you just transfer from one bank to another, typically that is an irreversible transaction where it cannot be refunded back. Whereas something like PayPal, for example, could be refunded back as easy as logging into their PayPal. So because reporting some issue or whatnot. And again, we want to avoid that, as we'll generally, that's not a good situation to be in, which is why we have our really strict KYC policy, which we'll go over in a later video. So what we need to understand at this point is that markets which are easier to do a chargeback, or payment methods which are easier to do a chargeback, are going to carry a higher premium, where payment methods which have a less chargeback kind of opportunity are going to have a less of a premium. So the risk is really the factor in what determines the price being higher or lower. So on the sell side, so when you're sending out currency, for example, USD or Euro or Thai baht or any Brazilian real or any currency, then you're going to when you send the money out, you're not going to be really subject to a lot of issues when it comes to chargebacks, as you're sending the money and you're receiving the crypto, which is irreversible. On the other side, when you're selling crypto and when you are receiving currency, then that is when the risk comes into a play. So you need to be very diligent in order to correctly verify these trades. So that will be described in a later video as well, how to actually do this KYC policy that I've created, which is bulletproof, which will allow you to trade in this marketplace with a substantially decreased risk and really, really swim amongst sharks and just take a whole bunch of cash and put it in your pocket with a significantly reduced risk um, based on the KYC protection that is provided in the later videos. So this is really a comprehensive guide on how to discover your marketplace. I'm going to put some additional notes here below this video, but really this should answer all of your questions when it comes to how to discover your marketplace and determine which payment methods work for you. So every person's case will be different. For example, if someone is in India, then they will probably use maybe some sort of Indian bank transfer. If they're in Europe, they might use a European transfer. If they're in Thailand, they might use a Thai transfer, and so forth. So it really varies based on you and what you have available to you. So wherever you are geographically located or from in the world will have an impact on which of these payment methods you're able to utilize. Now, some of them will have more trading volume than others. Some will have less trading volume than others. You'll have to discover, and part of the process of discovering your marketplace is finding out which payment methods are ones that you have access to, which also have a significant amount of traded volume. So you could have upwards of 40 to 50 different payment methods. And what that is simply is just going to that website and having an account registered and verified in order to conduct transactions. So I'll continue a little bit further. Paysend.com. So if we look at paysend.com, then we'll find that this is a form of international money transaction. So you're able to use this software in order to send money from one person to another. So you would register an account, you'd have it set up, and then you would set up an ad, which we'll talk about in the next video, about what options are available. So we'll see this person is willing to send you PaySend at 90% of the crypto value, and up, and he'll send a minimum of 500 euro with a maximum of 5,000 euro. If you wanted to sell your Bitcoin to him, he would send you PaySend. Now, if we look on the other side of this, and we see buy Bitcoin, and then we'll go back to PaySend. I think this is a good example. So if we go back to PaySend, and we'll go worldwide again, then we'll see that on the other side that somebody is willing to pay, that if you wanted to buy crypto and send someone PaySend, then they're willing to give you 92% of the value of that crypto based on the dollars you sent. So if you send $100, they send you $92 worth of crypto. And then the fee is on their side. That would be what you get. So you can see here that simply even within one payment method like PaySend, for example, if you're just putting that money through a cycle of compound interest, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, in a circular pattern, which we'll dive in deeper on the last completion video on how to reinvest your profits and earn compound interest, you can see when following this circular pattern of buying and selling and buying and selling, if you were to earn the spread, let's say 9%. So I'm teaching you how to kind of see if a market might be a good one or not, and see what's available and what people are currently, selling and buying at. Let's use this person because they have, it's not a new offer. They have a little more trading volume. So let's just say that they typically will sell at 10%, meaning that the person is going to receive 9% of the value. So that means that this person is plus 9. So if they have $100, then they're going to receive $109 or $110. You can do the exact math, but they'll receive about 110 for every 100 they sell. So they're going to make about $10 for every $100 at 10%, if that's their total amount. Now let's go to the sell side. So let's say they're taking that money and then they're buying. Here we go. Let's go back to worldwide. I think this was the same person, maybe. So let's just say this one would be a better example. So let's say this person, I'm not sure if they were the same user or not, but you can understand if you could be the same user on both sides. So let's say that they're also paying out minus 10% roughly. So that would mean that their spread has actually been 18% from what they sell at, which is plus 9 or plus 10, and then what they buy at, which is minus 9 or minus 10, meaning that their complete spread would be between 17 to 18%. So could you imagine if you were to sell $100 to receive, let's say you sold $90 to receive $100, then you sold $100 and received $110. So this is the basis for this entire structure, is you can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and constantly reinvest those profits. So now you have a more amount that you can trade with. So if you started with 90, now you have 120, and then you reinvest that 120 and get another 10% more, which is now $12, right? So then now you have, and then again and again and again, you can see how that money could very quickly, after just a few flips and a few transactions, could very quickly add up to thousands of dollars when you're continually trading, and there's enough trading volume in the payment method that you decide on that's good for you, that works for what you're doing. So this is what my thought process and what I'm going through when I'm doing payment method research. And I'm looking at the different options which are available on the site, and I'm identifying which payment methods I would be able to get into. And then I could register the account and do the full verification. You always want to, whenever you register a new account, you want to be fully verified with that platform. Typically, they're going to have some sort of limits on how many transactions and what the volume of transactions you can do within the first like 30 days or 90 days, or based on their KYC, which is quote unquote know your customer. Based on those requirements, they're going to have different limits on which you're able to trade. So you also want to make sure that before you start trading, and actually when I go into the next videos about how to actually set up your ads, you want to make sure that you're already fully verified with that trading method, payment method. So you want to have all, if they require identification like ID or something like that, you want to upload it, you want to verify, you want to do that KYC. It's not something you should shy away from. You really want to have this high level of verification, especially because once you discover the payment method which matches your capacity and ability, then you're going to want to make sure that you're able to do many transactions with that payment method. So you want to have the full limits available, and the sooner you can do that, the better. So some people will start trading, and then, oh my God, I'm at my limit. Now I can't trade for a week or a few days because I didn't register the account properly. Because really those limits are sometimes quite low in comparison to how much volume you might be trading. So this is something to keep in mind. And then additionally, you should recognize the capacity for a buyer from you to do a chargeback, and how you can you will charge more money if there is a risk of a chargeback in that payment method, versus it will be a less of a premium if there is no chargeback potential with that method. So that comes into play on the buy side, which people are buying from you. Again, we're looking at this as if we were a customer, because what we're talking about is being one of these vendors. So actually having your ad displayed here. For example, then you would have a profile, you'd be able to select it and view all the basic details about your account. So you'd have all these basics set up. So you can see this particular individual does quite a large amount of trading. And then you can also see that if I were to open a new trade with them, you can see exactly what what the premium is, the price is, if there's a fee. You can see positive feedback, fully verified, how long it takes them on average to complete a trade. And then, the offer. In this case, he didn't really put any offer details or issues there, but we can see that he has a significant amount of positive feedback, as well as just lots of different trading volume. And you can see also he's joined the platform a while ago. So these are things that we're going to review in more depth when we get to the KYC Know Your Customer portion, and we're actually doing these deep dives into the individuals who are actually coming to do trading with you. And you'll see here, even in this case, this individual says beware of impersonator, meaning that this industry does have a high volume of individuals who are attempting to commit fraudulent acts. And so why we're able to avoid this and not deal with those people is due to our KYC method that I've developed, which I'm going to give to you on the later videos. So this is a deep dive into market research. This is going to teach you how to identify your market, and you want to have this dialed in, or at least have 2 to 4 or 5 options, which would be potential for you, because the next ones are you want to start with probably 4 to 5 different options. And again, one more disclaimer: I don't recommend that you use any payment methods, for example, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, anything that is important to your daily life. So, because there is the potential that they could close one of these accounts based on how you're operating it. There's a lot of factors that come into play there, but it's just better to look for alternative websites and payment methods which you never would have used in the first place, which allow you to conduct transactions because of the massive profit potential. I won't even get into why they primarily don't allow crypto transactions, but that's a whole nother story. So we'll get into that perhaps in our weekly meetups or discussions. All right, so that is how you're going to discover your marketplace. Please do this and just get about 4 to 5 different markets which you think you will be able to use, and we will see you on the next video.